Hello and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another episode of My Month in Games. As I'm sure you're aware if you follow the channel, what I like to do in these particular videos is go through any games that I've been playing that aren't the standard GT Sport and things like that that you see on the channel, but they might be slight variances and things that I've been enjoying. This month it is going to be a little bit different, but only because I haven't really branched out too much when it comes to gaming. There's been so much going on with GT Sport. We've had 2 updates this month containing some really good cars, so that has taken up a lot of my time. Equally, last month I did mention the fact that Trials Rising was coming out and it released. I picked it up. I've been playing a lot of that, so I will go through with that in a little while with yourselves as well. On top of that, I'm still really enjoying Dirt Rally 2. It's a great release, and what I'll do is I'll go through a little bit more of that with you today and give you some ideas on how I'm feeling about the game now I've played it for some time. That being said though, it's been a big month for releases. It's just that I haven't had any time to get round to them. The Division 2 came out along with Anthem as well. They both look fantastic. Anthem is something that I really want to experience and enjoy, but I just haven't had the time to do so yet. But if any of you guys have been playing either of those games, let me know down in the comment section which one I should be picking up. And yeah, just let me know your thoughts and whether you're enjoying them. Just as a side note, before I continue, what I will say is last month I mentioned the Discord server coming out very soon. It is all sorted now. What I'm going to do is actually release a video later on this week which will explain to you exactly how to get onto there. But hopefully everyone will be able to use it to their advantage. We can all meet up online and arrange some online drifting sessions on GT Sport. So that is coming very soon, guys. Just keep your eyes on the channel for that announcement. So as always, what I'm going to do is start with this month's challenge. Now it's actually come down from the same source as always, which is Crazy Driver. He always seems to come at me with the challenges, but equally if anyone else out there wants to send me a challenge that seems quite difficult, I'm willing to give it a go. Whether I'll complete it or not, who knows, but I'm always willing to try it out. Now last month he had me drifting front wheel drive cars. This time round he's trying to take me even further out of my comfort zone and not giving me a drifting challenge at all. This time it is literally just a time trial. He wants to see how quickly I can get round the short version of the Kyoto driving park using the VW Scirocco Group 4 car. Now he has set out some rules with this. In terms of a tune, I can raise the power to 112%, I can drop the weight to 90% and use racing soft tyres. He's given me 40 laps to achieve his time, which he set at 38.357 seconds. But there is one more rule as well, and this one is a little bit unusual for me certainly, and I think that's why he's chosen it, and that's to use a wheel only, no controllers allowed. Now most people are aware that watch the channel that I use a controller for the drifting side of things. I will very occasionally use a wheel. Certainly if I'm playing in VR, I'll use a wheel. It just feels a lot more natural that way. But from this point of view, that was probably going to be the biggest challenge and something to get into, so I set that up and set about doing the challenge. Now obviously it being a wheel challenge, it felt only right that I would actually record footage of me using the wheel whilst doing the event itself, which I have managed to do, but that is the reason this video is out a little bit late. I've had all sorts of problems uploading a file the size that it was over to my computer from my iPhone, but I have managed to do it now. It's not a simple process apparently, but yeah, I have worked it out. And now what you're going to do is join me part way through that challenge. I think it was lap 17 or just the end of lap 17 going into 18 here. And this was definitely the best lap from the entire run. I managed to achieve it that early on and then couldn't better it. Now as I mentioned earlier, there is a build that's been sent down for this. It's very basic, but I've stuck to it. So I've put the power where it was supposed to be and everything like that. What I will say though with this car is it does like to understeer. Certainly for the last section of the track, the little tight S-bend bit. It's a bit of a challenge. If you put the power down too hard, the car just wants to keep going sideways off the course. So you do have to be a little bit careful around there, and that was definitely the biggest and sort of the hardest part of the course for me. As you can see from the Ghost there is plenty of room for improvement. I've definitely done the first and second sections a little bit quicker on previous laps, but getting that final bit right is the key really, or it was for me anyway, to get that time. So as you can see, I did manage to beat this challenge. I managed to get 38.196 seconds. But to be honest with you, it's a very respectable time that was sent down to me out of the entire 40 laps, because I did continue all the way to the end to see if I could obviously get any better than that. I only managed to get underneath his 38.357 twice out of all 40 laps. So very impressive score, certainly to get that straight out of the bag with no practicing or anything like that. I'm really impressed. So anyway, keep those challenges coming in, everyone. I really appreciate them when they come down, and I really enjoy making these parts of the video. So I look forward to seeing what you send over. So moving on to what I've been playing this month, and I'm going to start here with Trials Rising. Now I did mention in the last video, or last month's video should I say, that I was really looking forward to this. It is a franchise that I absolutely adore. I've loved it from the start. They've never really done anything too wrong, and all they do each time they bring out a new game is just improve the look of it normally, and also just improve some of the physics and the gameplay, maybe add a few more people into the multiplayer aspect. And they've achieved all of that this time round, but they've also done so much more. Now this game continues to amaze me at its price. I mean, I paid £20 for this. I believe it's quite a budget release all over the world, but what you're getting for your money now, where before you were getting a handful of tracks, a few bikes, things like that for your £20, and it was never an issue, everyone was happy to pay that for it. This time round it's cost exactly the same amount of money, and there is so many tracks. As far as I'm aware, in the career there's well over 100 courses, which none of the previous games have come close to, and all of them are real quality as well. They've taken so much time over the detail, the themes to each track. It is so good, and if you've never played it before, this is the perfect time to get out there and give it a go. It's the perfect mix of real challenging gameplay, but also it's so easily accessible at the beginning that you can slowly pick it up, but honestly you'll find yourself grinding and getting really challenged by the ending parts of the game. Now as it is, through a whole month's gameplay, I mean obviously I've been playing mostly GT Sport, but from what I've played of this this time round, I don't think I'm even halfway through the career yet, and so far so good. It's been superb. Like I say, I can't emphasise that enough. Honestly, if you've got some money, you're looking for a game to try out, give it a go. It really is worth your time and your money. Next up is going to be Dirt Rally 2, and a bit like GT Sport, it's been a great month for updates for this game. Now these are the first real updates we've seen for this since it's been released, and we've got loads more scheduled in the future. But the first two cars they've given us are the Citroen C4 rally car and the Skoda Fabia rally car. Both of those fall into the four-wheel drive up to 2000cc category, and they're a great addition to the already great list of cars that are within the game. Then a couple of weeks after that we got another update, and that included a brand new track. I say brand new, obviously it was in the last Dirt Rally game, but it's the first time we've seen snow and ice within Dirt Rally 2 itself, and we got Monaco. Now when it came to the original Dirt Rally, I absolutely loved Monaco. Their hairpins were some of the best in the game, and they haven't disappointed this time round by putting this into Dirt Rally 2. What I will say though is there is an enormous change when it comes to physics, obviously, between the two games, and this time round they've worked very, very hard to make it as realistic as possible, and by adding snow and ice into the game and extra realism, it is incredibly difficult to control your cars on that surface. So what this means for someone like myself who's not particularly good at the game, it does become a real challenge. But at the same time, you can really appreciate just how much effort they've put in. Even when there's just a patch of ice, you can physically feel, it feels like that one side of the car is actually losing grip, and it feels like it wants to head towards the wall. It's quite amazing really, and it's not something I've ever experienced in a game, or certainly not to that degree anyway. Now in terms of how I'm finding the game a month after release, I think it's pretty safe to say I'm not playing it quite as much as I was. Obviously the new update packs definitely brought me back into the game to play it again, but if you watched any of my earlier videos when the game first came out, I was talking about how easy and how much of a grind it felt really just to get through the first levels were. It's definitely become a lot harder now. It's very similar to the first game, to the point I don't think I'm even going to be able to finish the career, because it gets to the point where I'm just not good enough to even get remotely close to being in the sort of like top 10, top 15 of the rallies. So we'll just have to see how I go. Obviously lots of practice is needed, but yeah, in terms of the actual game itself, I absolutely love it. I do think it's very good. Certainly jumping into the just a sort of free play and having a go on the levels, I love it. It's great fun. Again, if you still haven't picked it up, you're probably not one of those people that really was that bothered about it, but certainly when the price comes down in the future, you might want to grab it just to sort of give it a go. Certainly from a technical aspect, like I was saying earlier about the sort of the feel of the surfaces and things like that, it's worth a go just to sort of feel just how different it is to any other game that you may have played before. So yeah, feel free to check it out. I'm still enjoying it. It's going to be something that I'll continue to make videos on, and hopefully you'll enjoy them. And then lastly, I was just going to talk a little bit about GT Sport. I know that's completely against what this video is supposed to be about, but we've had such a good month for it this month. The 2 updates have contained some fantastic cars, certainly from a drifting point of view. If you, like me, enjoy doing that, that first pack that they released, every single car in there was absolutely brilliant. The SLR is my standout winner of that update. And again, I mean, if you haven't tried that car yet and you're into drifting, please do give it a go. It really is such a consistent, such an easy car to use. You do have to be a little bit careful with the throttle, but ultimately you will enjoy it, and just put a bit of time in with it. If you are looking for a drift setup for any of the cars from that first update out of March, just check out my channel. I've got them all on there. They're always a good place to start, and then maybe adapt them yourself so that it suits your playing style. Moving on to that second update, we did actually get the Super Formula cars. If you haven't had a chance to play with them yet, they are so good. Very consistent. No issues whatsoever, unlike the other Formula cars where you may have had problems with them spinning out on you, certainly at low speeds. This car is just so planted and really worth spending the credits on to enjoy it. There was also the Lancia that came in that pack too, which if you're a fan of rallying is a very important car. But equally, I have messed around with that for drifting, and it works really well. And hopefully I'll be putting something together for the Countach as well very soon. But yeah, with the Stratos, keep your eyes peeled on the channel for the next week, because I have got a build coming out for that, and hopefully you'll all enjoy that. Overall though, I have to say this month has just been so good for GT Sport, and hopefully you all feel the same way about it. It just keeps me excited really for the future and what the car packs are going to bring, which leads me to a question to you guys really. I'd really like to hear down in the comment section what cars you would like to see either return to the game, or alternatively new ones you'd like to see implemented into GT Sport as well. So yeah, make sure you use that comment section, let me know. It'll be great to hear your feedback. So that's really it for what I've been doing in March. Like I say, it has been mostly GT Sport, but if they keep bringing updates like that every single month, then yeah, I'm going to be hooked for a long time yet to come. I hope you've all enjoyed today's video. As always, please let me know if there's any builds you'd like to see me do specifically, if there's any games that you'd like to see me play a lot more of. It would be quite nice to do a Trials Rising video at some point, but unless you guys want it, I probably won't do it. But it can be quite funny watching me get infuriated, trying to do the same level over and over again. But I'll leave it there, and I hope to see you all on the next one.